there. Just back in the church again. I don't think anybody's here at the moment. If anybody comes, I'll stop recording. Just been to the little shop. You could really sort of smell and almost taste autumn on the air tonight. I thought, well, this afternoon. That kind of sense of, it's definitely autumn now. It was an interesting sort of exchange I had in the comments in terms of the idea of the concepts of belief and knowledge. And then you've got these, in the legal setting, you've got these statements of guilty and not guilty. And so those pronouncements, they come out of belief, don't they? Belief of the jury, believing the prosecution side more than the defence side if they find guilty, and vice versa. They don't come out of direct knowledge because the people in the jury weren't there. The prosecutors weren't there, the police weren't there. Evans wasn't there. None of the other experts testifying for the prosecution were there. So it's belief allegedly underpinned by their alleged expertise, and that they're acting impartially as experts, which I don't believe, actually. In the system as it is run and as it is found, I don't think it's what happens there because of the nature of the adversarial system. It's not an impartial seeking after truth, it's an adversarial system in which the jury as an audience decides which side puts on the more convincing, i.e. more believable show. Well, show is probably the wrong word for it, but display or story. They tell the more convincing or believable story. Although this burden on the prosecution is high, isn't it? That they've got to tell a story that leaves no room at all for reasonable doubt. That's the bar they've got to meet. I know everybody knows this, but I just keep thinking it through about... And as I said in the comment today, if I put a statement, Lucy Letby is innocent, it does suggest knowledge, but it is implicitly it's a statement of my belief. I wasn't there. It's my belief, and that belief is very strong. And yes, it came out of listening to the reporting about the trial when it was on and reading about it as it was on, but it's grown into much more than that. When you look at the comprehensive work that's been done that's to challenge the prosecution's case, and the degree to which one can understand those arguments being made, and I think I can understand them in large part, if not fundamentally all of them. And they take, as I said in another video, they don't just achieve the reasonable doubt that is necessary. They go way, way, way beyond that, I think. But what's going to happen with I got cut off there for some reason. What's going to happen with the current defence team, and what strategies are they going to use? Because the solicitor, Richard Thomas, emailed me back and said that they're not fundraising. Does that suggest, or can we infer that they're not looking for, at this stage at least, perhaps it's just too early, I'm saying that they're not looking for funds, like a crowdfunding, in order to get the relevant expertise on board, which would cost quite a bit of money in this system. It's unfortunate that to defend yourself effectively you need loads and loads of money. That's got to tell you there's something wrong. Especially when, and in particular when, the prosecution has endless funds. I mean, how much did it cost overall? I did the video, Follow the Money, we're estimating well over 10 million in terms of resources thrown at this. Perhaps way more. We'll never know. We'll never know how much it's cost. We know the CPS said it's 2.5 million, and then that's just for the court part of it, for the trial part of it. And then you've got all the costs of the police, and then you've got the hospital itself spending £1/3 just to pay I can't think of the term, a public relations company based in London who did the public relations for the COCH in relation to what was going on, what became the trial and the court case and all the reporting on it. £1/3 just on that. So a third of everything, a third of the resources that Lucy had, a third of the resources that Lucy Letby had at her disposal through legal aid, just for that hospital to pay a private company to do public relations. It gives you a sense of what the whole prosecution case must have cost overall, including all the police costs. And they're ongoing, and Evans is still raking in money, and so there we are. I didn't think this video was going to go this way, but yeah, you keep coming back to. There's a really good article on Science on Trial today called A Malevolent Force, which is really good. And then if you do read it, please have a look at the comments section as well, in which there's a really powerful interchange between the writer of the article from Science on Trial. I'm only not mentioning names because I don't know whether people want me to mention names in certain contexts. I don't know. But anyway, it becomes apparent if you look at the comments. Just trying to respect people's wishes. Well, I'm assuming what their wishes are. But anyway, look at the comments section for that as well. It's about the air embolus and how there was an interesting argument made in that comment section, is that in order to defend against Evans's theories on air embolus, you get pulled into a world in which you can't win somehow if you start to defend against it, rather than, I suppose, the opposition is just not to accept them at any level. That you've got to kind of, if you're in the world of having to disprove him, if you enter into that fight that you've got to disprove him, then you're in this battle you can't win somehow, because you're entrenched in this non-scientific, unscientific, what do you call it, like a swamp, and it was suggested in the comments that it was, that's a non-winnable situation, and it's a mistake strategically to do that. But what should they have done? Well, what should they have done? Is to have the access to and the affordability for the range of experts, medical experts that they needed, and to call the pathologist who did those 6 post-mortems in Chester. Because all you've got is Marnarides there, just basically turning them on their heads and saying that the pathologist got it all wrong, and there's no one that the jury sees as an equivalent professional or expert witness, i.e. the original pathologist, to compete with what this prosecution witness Marnarides is as the pathologist in the court. The only one that they see is him, and he's very sure of himself. And what he's doing is, as I said before in the other videos, is just they're backing up And as Ben Myers, KC says, they're medically led by Evans, and they do the job that's necessary, and they get the conviction. But yeah, I'm probably going to try to do the 4 other parts, the next one being the trial, but I don't need to sort of reinvent the wheel or keep going over the same points. Maybe it's just really about 10 or so salient points. And a lot will be about, well, questioning what that defence strategy was and the self-evident holes in it. The agreed fact of the insulin poisonings. Yeah, so that's it. A bit more of the church now, look. It's getting darker earlier. See if I can go in. There we are, to the back. Take care, everyone. All the best.